I remember when I first started out in the corporate world, all I could see around me were people who I felt were cleverer, who had more experience, who had better backgrounds, more education than me. And guess what that did to my self confidence? Well, not great things, that's for sure. Today's tutorial is all about starting where you are at. Let's dive in. Hello and welcome to day 3 of this series of mini tutorials on self-confidence. My name is Shuvra Deb and I work as a confidence and resilience trainer. Today's lesson is all about appreciating that we are all at different levels, at different stages of our lives on pretty much every aspect, and that includes our self-confidence and how self-confident we feel. Today, I am going to take you through a few steps that will move your self-confidence just a little bit further forward. Some of you may be riding high and feeling great, and you're looking for just that little boost, that little nudge to push you just a little bit further forward. Others of you may be feeling really low, and in fact, you may be feeling the lowest you have ever felt. And what you're looking for is just one small thing that will, you hope, help to make you feel a little bit more confident, a little bit better. And then there will be others of you where in certain areas of your life you may be a little bit shaky, but in other areas you're feeling pretty confident. Wherever you are, that's okay. It's also important to remember that with anything that we're trying to develop in or learn or improve on, it's not a case of going from A to Z or Z overnight or even in a fixed or short period of time. Quite often, we can find ourselves making small steps, going from A to B or from C to D, and that might take a lot longer than you had hoped, perhaps. And then you may find that you take leaps and bounds and you go much further. And then you may find that you take a few steps backwards. And that's okay because that's all a part of the learning and growth process. You see, when we start out on a new journey, when we start to learn a new skill or learn new facts, we'll often find that we can take on quite a lot in one go. So there may be days when you feel really confident and you make lots of progress and lots of strides forward. And then there may be days where you don't really want to talk to anyone. You may just want to sit on the couch all day. And that's all okay. It's sometimes in those quieter moments, those quieter times, those times when we are sitting on the couch, that the calibration can take place and the skills that you've learned and the energy that comes with that can really start to embed and sit in you. And that will ultimately lead to further growth. So, with that, let's look at one particular area of your life where you would like to show up, to move into that part of your life or to move forward there with a little bit more confidence. It could be how you show up in meetings. It could be, I don't know, drafting an email quicker and sending it. It could be hitting post on a reel or on an article that you've drafted. Pick one small area of your life, one aspect of your life where you would like to feel more confident. And then, without any judgment of yourself, but with discernment, give yourself a scale between 1 and 10 of how confident you feel. So 1 being the lower end of that scale and 10 being the higher end. So for example, if you were to pick, I don't know, something that you feel really confident in, let's say cooking. You love cooking and you feel really confident there. You might say that your confidence level is at an 8 out of 10. If, on the other hand, you're quite shy and you find it difficult to talk to people, to maintain eye contact, to speak up in a conversation or in a meeting, then you may rate your confidence level somewhere close to 3 or 4. Again, this is not a judgment and not a way of being self-critical, but a way of discerning where on the scale you are so that you can find out where you would like to go. So now that you've picked a number on the scale, think about this. What is one thing that you can do that will take you to the next level on that scale? So if you picked that you're a 4 out of 10, if you rated yourself as a 4 out of 10 for how comfortable you feel talking to people, making eye contact, then perhaps to get from a 4 to a 5, you might wish to try holding someone's eye contact the next time you say hello to them or shake their hand. If you struggle to speak up and show up in meetings, it may be that the next time you're in a meeting, you introduce yourself, or you put your hand up and you say something that you would like to say. Or maybe it's something like not second guessing yourself and deferring to the opinions of other people for one day, not second guessing yourself for one whole day, and then see how that makes you feel by the end of the day. Another thing that you can do, another way to lift up your level of self confidence, is to borrow energy. So you can do this in one of two ways. You can borrow energy from somebody else who has confidence in you. Think of a friend or a relative or a mentor or teacher or someone else that you know who has a lot of confidence in you and is telling you nice things about you. Feel into the energy of what they feel about you and how it makes you feel when they give you that kind of compliment. Another option is to think back to a time when you did something or achieved something or you said something or something happened in your life and you felt really confident as a result and you were riding quite high on that feeling. Borrow the energy from that event that you've already experienced. Bring to your mind, to your energy, how that felt and just feel into it. And then the next time you want to do something that you feel slightly uncomfortable, where you are being pushed out of your comfort zone, feel into that energy just before you deal with that scenario. And that's the thing. It's about doing things when we don't feel ready. It's about doing things that push us out of our comfort zone. And it's by doing and doing it again and doing it again and doing it again, not perfectly, but just by having a go and actually doing the thing or saying whatever it is you want to say, that confidence starts to build bit by bit by bit. If you're finding these mini tutorials helpful, then have a look in the notes below where you'll find a link to my free self-confidence guide, and you'll also find a link to a self-confidence course that I have put together. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it was helpful. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.